Hi. All right. Hi. Everybody hear me? Oh, it's been a little while, huh? It's been a little while. Oh my gosh, it's so dark in here. Um, see if I can fix that. There we go. Ah, it's better. It's better. Um, move this down because I'm down here. I had to move the laptop all over and fix things. I ended up disconnected from Twitch. But hi. I know it's been a while. I'm sorry. Life is has been doing stuff. My eldest son's other grandfather died recently, and so I drove to New York for the visitation. On the bright side, I got to see the baby and a lot of the family up there who'd never met my newest grandchild. I got to see the beautiful, beautiful baby that Jackson is. Um, so again, sorry I haven't been here sharing stuff with you. I'm September, also known as 9 to 12. My mission is to try and help you guys gain the confidence to cook that I gained after years of having to learn how to, and then coming to enjoy it, and yeah, stuff like that. Um, I'm gonna be doing something new today. I've actually never made. I've made potato soup, but I usually make it from like leftover mashed potatoes, right? Some celery. I like a celery flavor in it. I'm not doing any celery today. So what I'm doing is a potato leek soup. Um, I'm going to use the last end of this, my homemade bacon. This is the last slab I smoked. I'm going to use these. Okay. I grew up calling these leeks. Um, and my sister, in packing up cooler stuff for me to bring home, snuck these in under the ice. Uh, she, we harvest them up there in New York in the spring. Other people call them ramps, um, but we grew up calling them leeks. They're a wild leek. I don't know the actual botanical, um, but it's got that oniony flavor, sweet when you cook it. When you get them young enough, you can steam the whole thing, the green and all, and eat it. But she had these frozen, and we were gonna dig leeks while I was up there because they are in season right now, but we didn't get to it. I'll put my hair up out of the way, and so she snuck some frozen she had, and I'm gonna give a go to making like a soup with it. I'm gonna use uh, dehydrated potato flakes. I mean, it's gonna be edible. Is it gonna be great? Maybe I'll try my best, but sometimes you just gotta try things. And we don't have any fresh potatoes in the house. I was gone for like almost a week. Oh, we got an ad going. Okay. I'm gonna go take some granola for those of you that are subbed or anything and can see this, and the YouTube folks who will watch it later. I'll start again when I come back. But my granola went a little stale. It wasn't kept properly sealed, and I've got it in the oven, kind of toasting back to life. So I'm gonna go fetch that. Flip it and taste it. Flip it and taste it. Yes, yes, oven. I hear you. I'm making noise while my husband's having a meeting. Okay, it doesn't. It sounds soft. It doesn't sound the granola that is crispy again. I'm gonna stir it around. Give it a quick taste. Oh, needs more toasting. Revive my granola. Mm. And I'm actually take the opportunity to put a little more syrup on it. This is actually another thing I'm not entirely sure is going to work, but I'm giving it a go. All right. So I'll be screwing with that 5 minutes at a time. Sorry, everybody. Ad breaks in 1:22. And then I'm going to have to start all over again, aren't I? I'm sorry I didn't notice it went to an ad break. But I see can pull out some other ingredients and get them convenient while that ad happens. I'm going to put some garlic in it. Oh, and get my trash bowl out, because I did not. Making you fall out of practice with things. Don't need my scale today for anything. Oh, shut off the dehumidifier, so it doesn't go crazy on me. I appreciate anybody who's hanging out for the ads. Um, theoretically, one day it'll help me. There'll be enough of you to. That Twitch will send me some money. They have sent me money in the past. The subs and stuff. The couple of subs we've gotten here since I've been cooking have been a help. That I really appreciate. Okay. Hi, I'm back. I'm sorry I don't know what you missed. Twitch is a little janky with letting you know exactly when the ad is starting. It's not in the chat at all. I guess I don't have a bot set up for that. But normally, the mobile stream manager will tell me. Nope. I just suddenly got a notification that popped up that said when it would be over, that it would be running. So, again, sorry if that if you missed anything. But I was just explaining how I'm going to make an attempt at making some potato leek soup. I'm going to use instant potatoes because I don't have any in the house because I was like gone for a week and no one else, I guess, wanted to cook potatoes. I've got these ramps that I grew up calling wild leeks that my sister snuck into the cooler while I was up there, while I was getting ready to come home from a funeral that I went to, or visitation, rather, I guess, properly. How small do I want the bacon? And I'm putting in my last bit of this homemade bacon that I cured and smoked. So it's a good bit of bacon. And I think what I need to do is render down this bacon some. I'm making this up, by the way. I've never used this, I've never used these wild leeks that I grew up with. We either got them really young and just steamed them and ate them. I know my sister makes soup. I probably should have just asked her for a recipe, but I want to experiment, and I'm pretty sure she doesn't use instant mashed potatoes. So making it up. Sometimes we got to make stuff up, help gain our confidence, which is what I'm here to help you do. So anyway, I think I'm going to render this down and then pull the bacon out and put it in later at the end of the soup making. Let me cut this in half this way. Add it back because I'm going to saute the leeks, ramps, whatever you want to call them. And get a good brown on them and get some broth going in there. And I'm going to use my immersion blender to make sure they get smoothed out before I add anything like cream and potatoes, which is a little different order than if I was using fresh potatoes, right? I'd be cooking the potatoes and then smoothing them out with the immersion blender. But I'm going to go ahead and do that in a little bit different order. And I don't want to use the immersion blender with like bacon in there. It'll clog it up. Nobody wants pureed bacon. So these are very wet. It's gonna make quite a mess of the cutting board. So I think I'll mince up the garlic first. And I just, in like a few seconds, I'm gonna have to go grab my granola out of the oven that I'm refreshing. And I'll explain how that's going and what I'm doing there. Because I know it's a little, I guess, a weird thing to hear about freshening granola. Turn that up, I don't hear it sizzling. Yes, yes, yes. Ugh, I'm sorry if you can hear hubby, he's working. Hubby. Ugh. Rob. He's in a meeting. Um, yep, still feels a little damp. So, turn it around. Taste a little bit without burning myself. Mm. Getting there. I'm gonna give it like, I'm gonna risk it and give it like 7 more minutes. So the granola I made on stream a while back, right? I thought it would be sufficient to put it away like in the oat container. This being cardboard and not even really coated, kind of wasn't enough. And I meant to take it on my road trip. I did not. And so it got kind of like stale. Um, so I'm throwing it in the oven. The moisture from the dried cherries I put in it definitely contributed to it getting a little stale. So I've got it in the oven at 350, checking on it like 5 minutes at a time. Yeah, food processor might have been better for these, but we'll see. That's not what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of toasting it back up, and I'll put it in a more air-free environment, like actual Tupperware this time, so that I can finish it before it goes stale again. I'm just putting a rough chop on these so that they're open and can get a good saute and stuff. It does have a lot of layers in it, like a big leek does. See, they'll pop off. And I want to expose a lot of those surfaces to the heat. Once we start, I'm gonna saute these until they start to get a little bit of color on them. After we take out our bacon, which I'm gonna need. Do this so you can see the bacon. Okay. This is leaner than probably a lot of bacon, commercial bacon. So I'm gonna add some oil to this and turn it down a little to get a gentle render. Slow it down. I mean, once we put it back in after it's, soup in here, it's not going to stay crisp or anything, but kind of what we're leaning toward getting it to in the meantime. Um, I've heard these grow around here. I'm in North Carolina these days, but I've never seen them. I haven't dug around a lot in the woods. It's not something you tend to see just driving down the road. They like to bunch right up under trees, like among the roots. So they can be very challenging to dig. In New York, anyway, they would come in season the same time the trillion was blooming, which is a really pretty white flower, and it's got very similar leaves. And I was like, is it trying to camouflage? Because until the flowers bloom, you're kind of like, oh, is that leeks or trillium? And by the time the trillium flowers bloom, the leeks are bigger. And it is really nice to get them small and just steam them and eat the whole thing. Throw them some butter and vinegar. Again, something I miss from my childhood, which keeps motivating me to try new things in my life that I can't get around here, just like the sausage. So it's pretty good. So I make sure there's no really, really big hunks that aren't gonna let their flavor into my soup when I get to it. There we go. Stir this around, and then, oh, too hot. Not quite burnt, but geez Louise. Let's turn that down. Get it so it's resting in its own fat to cook and render further. I'm going to move it to off that burner while the burner comes down a little. Get a bowl and a slotted spoon so that I can pull out the bacon before we put the ramps in. Ramps, leeks. I get used to saying ramps because I know I say leeks, and I know this is going to work on this potato leek soup. I almost asked my sister, but I decided to just wing it with you guys. And like I said, she wouldn't be using instant potatoes anyway. There were more in the plastic. Okay, I hear that settling down. Let's move it back. Yay! And that fond, where the bacon did stick a little, is probably largely due to the maple sugar or whatever sugar I used in this last time. I'm not sure, and that's fine. And it won't be overly sweet, but it'll definitely give a good flavor to this soup. So yeah, I'm gonna use garlic, bacon, the wild ramps, leeks, some thyme that I have. That's parsley. I might have to go snip thyme from the garden or ask a kid to. If I add any salt, which I may not because I'm going to use, for adding stock, I am going to use a little milk at some point. But I'm going to use, I've got a roasted chicken base and a sauteed onion base, better than bouillon, which I thought might be a good way to zhuzh up the actual soup part of the soup. And I don't have any, cartons or cans of stock, which you could absolutely use for this. You could use vegetable stock. You don't have to have the bacon. You can just, I know you can just use actual, leeks and potatoes and saute that up. I would saute the onions and garlic. I'm calling these onions now. They are an onion. They're an allium, right? Um, and then put the potatoes in broth in, whatever kind of broth you want. And when the potatoes are cooked, use an immersion blender. But like I said, our process is going to look a little different. I guess I'll bring this out now. It looks good. The the dried cherries definitely puffed up a little bit. They seem to have taken on some of that moisture that was in the granola from it not being properly sealed. So those are way bigger now. That'll be an interesting take in this granola, but big fruit. And I'm going to a benefit tonight for my friend Marianne. Um, okay, yep, it's crunchy again. Yay! I'm gonna probably give some of that to Lori, my friend who would love some granola. All right, I'll pull this bacon out. So where are all my cauldrons? I have a cauldron with salt. I have a cauldron with, I guess the garlic can go in the mortar and pestle. So some beautifully rendered fat to give soup flavor. And it's not like a shit ton. It should just be enough to get some color and on our leeks or ramps, whatever you're using. Here we go. Oh, I got this bowl out to do that. That's fine. So here we go. Here's our bacon. And let's get our ramps cooking. Turn that back up a little because they have some water in them we want to render out. How is everyone? Nice to see you today. What time is it? It's 4 o'clock. I might be a little late for my friend's fundraiser, but I'm going to go ahead and put the garlic in there right away. I'm not worried about it scorching it because of all the liquid in the frozen ramps. Right. And while the liquid runs out, we'll get all that fond, which is what the stuff stuck to the bottom of the pan when you brown things is. So basically using the ramps or leeks to deglaze this pan. Okay. Yummy. Oh, it smells good. They smell so good. They're like oniony, but they're sweet already. So I imagine they're just going to get sweeter in the soup, just like a leek would or an onion would. I don't think I want to put the bay leaf in yet. Water's over there. Might board down some. I'm not being crazy about going and washing the board and everything because I had meat on it because it is a cured smoked meat. Just a little bit that I did cut on there. Ah, lay hair down for a little bit and we'll chat while this cooks up. What else in New York my sister gave me? It's kind of cool. Is um, this? She won this big a basket of like all a zillion kinds of booze, and she doesn't like tequila, and she was worried about being hot, so she gave me this full bottle, unopened bottle of cucumber, jalapeno, white tequila, and I'm super excited about it. My husband can't really do any hard liquor. He gets, even from smelling it, he starts to get heartburn, except for tequila, oddly enough. Um, so I got some fresh limes, and I need to go get some jalapenos, and I'm gonna make a jalapeno margarita with that. I'm super excited. I'm recording a tipple theory tonight, and I think we're doing margaritas. Not sure. I haven't done my notes yet. I'm really slacking here because I've been traveling, and I was messaging Sean like, "Hey, you want to record tomorrow?" And I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't do notes. I'm not prepared, but I'm still keen on doing it." Um, what else have I got going on here? So I love these. I know I told y'all before that they've turned out to be great as far as they will actually spray nice and even, and you can pour from the top. And right before I left, like the day before, while I was running around packing, I knocked over one of them and it broke. So, I mean, I love that they're glass, but it broke. And so we had vegetable oil mess on the floor. That's so fun to clean up. I immediately went back to TikTok, found the order, and replaced it to get new ones. So now I've got an extra that maybe I'll give someone if they sent me colors again. Yes, they sent me one brown, one green, which is awesome. Like I've got olive oil in my green one, and I'll put um, just plain vegetable oil in this brown one. I'll screw around with the thing later. But you know what? I'll probably give this to Lori. It's not like I'm always giving stuff to Lori. We're just those kind of friends. Like, ooh, I think we like so many of the same things that it's awesome to go, ooh, she'd really like this. And no, it's not a terrible bullshit present. Or I've actually used and enjoy this. Kind of like, and she was going to lend me her vacuum sealer for my mason jars, but I wish I had my scissors here to cut these up more. It's okay. Don't worry. Um, but I went ahead and bought one, but she had already product tested it for me. I should probably be better about things like, oh, I don't know, if I product tested freaking all the stuff I ordered, somebody might sponsor me or send me money, but you know. Um, Smells really good. I think I do want to put the bay leaf in now. Give that a little time to work. 2 little ones. I'm using the big pot just because I'm not sure how much liquid I'm going to end up with to get this to a 2-taste situation. And yeah, you enjoy watching that while I go grab some thyme. Even when somebody else is paying for it. Process. Because I hope you guys will let me know. If you can't hear me, I probably went out of range there for a minute. Yep, still working now. So I went out to the garden. Man, this wants to burn. It's not though. It's fine. Just brown. And got sprigs of thyme because it'll be easier to pull out later. I will pull that out before I use the immersion blender. So that's probably a good 2 cups of liquid. To again get the brown bits up. Wow, it's a nice color already. I'm gonna have to taste this before deciding how much bouillon to put in. Because the flavor is all about the leeks, right? Okay, taste the leeks. They're not super strong. That's gonna come out more. I taste the bacon, but again, it's not super strong. Perfect. So these are all just like additions, like the beginning of a stock. I'm gonna smell this onion base. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna use like a half a teaspoon, a little less, of the sauteed onion base. And then I'm gonna use half a teaspoon of the chicken base. I know, and I didn't find low sodium versions of these, which is what I usually get if I see it. But I mean, I'm not putting any other salt in this right now. I'll wait until the very end, and it can take some salt definitely because I'm putting potato in it, and so I'm not too worried about the actual sodium ending up a problem. Um, and I think my smoked salt is going to be the way I'll do any adjustment at the end. So, I'm going to get this up to a simmer. The ramps are, like I said, they're like from last year, spring. They're really tough right now. I do want to get them boiled so that they will, cream out into the soup when I use the immersion blender. Adding milk is something I'm going to do. Again, toward the end, heat it up, and then I think add the potatoes, because that's when you make the instant mashed potatoes, what you do. You boil the butter and milk. So it's going to be basically the same kind of process, but obviously not to make it solid, but just enough to get a thick soup. Oh, yummy, yummy. Okay. I'm excited. Already yummy. And the onion base, I think it's something I saw in an online recipe I looked at where somebody mentioned using an onion base or stock or stock, yeah, broth in this kind of soup because it complements obviously the other allium that's the main component. So let's see what else we got. I'm gonna move this mic. Sorry if it's making a terrible noise. I realized I put it on my dress and then I put on an apron, so it made a bit muffly. Uh, so while that comes up to a simmer, I'm gonna add a little more water. It can take it, and then it's gonna probably boil down because I'm gonna have to cook it hard enough to get the leeks tendered. I'm gonna have to text my friend that I might be a little late for the fundraiser. Nah. It goes a couple hours, and my friend that's meeting there was gonna be later than I was anyway, so it's fine. So what else? My sister, I saw this beautiful teapot. I kind of collect teapots. I mean, I haven't collected any new ones in a long time, but I've got a whole bunch in my living room up on top of some bookshelves. And I was like, it's beautiful. I love it. She said, take it. And climbed up and got it down for me. It was up on a really high shelf and it was covered in, when you keep anything in your kitchen, like it's that like grease coating. So I cleaned it up and I had a beautiful new cool pumpkin-y teapot. It makes me so happy. It's really cute, but still fits with my spooky aesthetic, right? She's got a Nightmare Before Christmas teapot set I'm really jealous of, but the only time I saw them here, like at TJ Maxx, it wasn't a full set. A piece was broken, and so I resisted getting it. Someday I'll show you all some of my teapots. What else did I want to share? Oh, I found it. It was upstairs. So recently I was on, we were talking about like cookbooks, and we went through this other one from an elementary school fundraiser. This one I'm not giving away. I love this so much. It is amazing snapshot of 1984. It was for the Columbia College Wind Ensemble 1984 D-Day Festival. Celebrities and friends. So, folks, this is amazing. I want to look in the front first. I know we had Daniel in here last time asking about when it came out. We know this was 1984, but again, it's like a fundraiser cookbook, just kind of independently printed and bound, and it doesn't have, probably at a Kinko's or something by the look of this. We all did that back in the day, right? But it doesn't have an ISBN number or anything. It's cooking. I want to cook it gently, not too hard, too. All right. You know what? I really want to, but I think with the potato and cream, it's not going to do what I want. Put some of my dad's homemade wine in it. I have my stepmother wants all my dad's homemade wine out of the basement, and my son Connor wants some. He has a place to cook it, keep it. I don't really. I have, I don't even know, probably 50 bottles of wine from 30 plus years ago. He filled my entire trunk of buckets of wine that we shoved paper in so the bottles wouldn't clink. It was so heavy that I got like 12 plus less miles an hour per gallon on the trip home from New York. And then hopefully this weekend I'll be taking most of it over to Raleigh because my son has actual like space, a garage and stuff where he can keep it. So anyway, this fun cookbook. Oh my gosh. This is the one I keep mentioning that I got for $5 at the like thrift store attached to a local nursery. Celebrities and Friends cookbook. Lively interest in all the arts. I especially am interested in the art of cooking. She's a nutritionist and dietitian. This is from Blanche Mears, who was the first lady of Columbia College. So I think the best way to do this is going to be, I feel like there's a list in here we'll go to first. Oh, there's an order form. That's not going to work to order extra ones. So there's in the index in the back, there's a list of people that contributed, right? First, there's an index of the recipes, which I really appreciate. You don't always get that in one of these fundraiser books. So you can look up by category. But the celebrities that contributed and they're categorized. It's like great. Um, and if you hear one of these and you want to know which recipe is in there, I'll probably go through and talk about a couple if we have time. But let me know. Go to the Discord um, and send me a message, and we can um, share some of the individual recipes that these celebrities contributed to this fundraiser book. Awesome. So, Lonnie Anderson, um, if you watch WKRP, you know who that is. Uh, Mrs. Jean M. Ariyoshi. I don't know who that is. My phone is plugged in so it doesn't run out the fundraiser, or I would look that up. Maybe some of you know. Irma Bombeck, Mrs. Christopher S. Bond, Debbie Boone, Dr. Joyce Brothers, Helen Gurley Brown, Phyllis George Brown, Carol Burnett. There are 3 recipes in here that Carol Burnett contributed. Anita Bryant. Let me see. Barbara Bush, Mrs. George, it says, contributed a recipe. Ruth Buzzy. Like, there's comedians and actresses and news people. This is like amazing. I was so excited. I can't believe I got this for like $5, right? And even if I never make a recipe from it, it's I love it. Rosalind Carter, um, um, Kitty Dukakis. So like there's both sides of the aisle are in here and political figures, and some are listed as like state. It's divided into state and local um, for celebrities, international and national, state and local, and then friends. Um, which I guess are probably a bunch of people from the college and the boards and stuff. Um, but boy, they really tapped. I mean, I guess people who went to Columbia, right? It's like hitting up your alumni for stuff, and they had quite a list. Um, Mrs. Gerald Ford, um, Mrs. Billy Graham, Mrs. Bob Graham, Mrs. Bob Hope, Bob Hope's wife. It's a recipe. Um, Glenda Jackson, Peggy Fleming Jenkins, Jack Klugman. I think his is a spaghetti sauce recipe. Linda Lavin, Vicki Lawrence, Walter Mondale. Well, Walter Mondale's wife has 2 recipes in here. Charlotte Ray, Nancy Reagan has 2 recipes in here. Mrs. Richard Riley has a recipe. John Ritter. How cool is that, John Ritter? um, I think that one we'll go and read. We probably have some time. This is simmering nicely. I should probably have a fork to test this. It'll be fine. Let me see. Jessica Savage. Tom Selleck has a recipe in here. Rick Springfield. My mom had a biggest crush on Rick Springfield. Margaret Thatcher. Who knew she could cook? Mrs. Strom, Nancy Thurmond. And Leslie Uggams. Freaking, that's awesome. So let me see. State and local. Do we really know any of these? It's a lot of state and local political figures of the time that we probably wouldn't. Although it's funny, they have Richard Riley in here as a local and a Strom Thurmond's wife too. They're like double listed because I guess they're from that area and they're considered international or national stars. So all right, let's look. Who do you want to look at? We'll go through John Ritter, and then I'm going to test and see how those leeks feel. Where is it? John Ritter, page 188. So we have John Ritter's recipe for John Ritter's favorite fudge. You know, his son is on TikTok and is super awesome and funny. I should, maybe I'll message him on TikTok and see if he has this. Like, wouldn't you love to have that? I would. Like, if I found out my mom or my dad or my grandma had recipes in some little fundraiser cookbook and I never saw it, right? Like, I have a fundraiser, well, no, it's not even a fundraiser. I have a cookbook from my husband's grandmother that she published, just like a small, um, independently published cookbook that I got a bunch of copies of and gave to other parts of my family. So it's like, look, we're related. If I ever have a cookbook, I would like my kids to have it. But anyway, just a recipe. Maybe he'd want it. So, John Ritter's favorite fudge. And I'm going to read this whole thing because I think you might see where the flavor, the text flavor in this cookbook is like, okay, I feel like these people actually gave them these recipes. 2 cups of sugar, 3 or 4 heaping tablespoons of cocoa, 1 cup of milk, 1½ tablespoons of butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Combine sugar and cocoa, mix thoroughly. Add milk, stirring until mixture is smooth. Heat until mixture comes to boiling. Continue slow boil, stirring only occasionally to remove mixture from sides of pan. Cook to soft ball stage, 238 degrees. Remove from heat. Allow to cool for 5 minutes. Then stir in butter and vanilla. I might have to try this. Like, the only fudge I ever made, I used the fluff sheet. Anyway, beat hard until fudge becomes very thick and starts to lose its gloss. Pour on buttered plate. Lick spoons and plan. John Ritter, television actor. You have to lick the pan and the spoons. I don't know. It makes me think when I do my cookbook, I need to put some more little Easter eggs in there. Like, I put Easter egg in when with the book I have published, my political book. I if you go get it, that'd be great. If you go to 912.com, you can find a way to buy my book. Maybe you can tell me what the Easter egg is. Woo! Okay, that's good and strong. I feel like there's something I want to change. Hold on. Nope, just strong. It's okay because it's gonna um the sweetness is gonna come out of these leeks when they are pulverized. I'm gonna give them a little more time, I think. I'm gonna bite it. Yeah. Still got a little more crunch that I want. It's also not as sweet as I thought it was going to be, and I hope that sweetness comes out. I may have to actually add a little sugar if it doesn't. I haven't decided yet. A little bit more water because it is cooking down while it does that. Okay, who else we got? This is fun. Elizabeth Taylor. I skipped Elizabeth Taylor. Oh, Tom Selleck, right? That's what in the heck? Let's find out what he made. It's on page 28. Happy to see you all today, by the way. Pie crust meatloaf. What the hell does that mean? Sorry, somebody from the Columbia College staff put in a recipe for pie crust meatloaf. I'm confused. Sip mushrooms. Roll meatloaf into a cylinder so the cheese mushrooms will spiral in the center. Pie crust. Okay, so it's almost like a Wellington, but meatloaf instead. That's not a terrible idea. Okay, Tom Selleck, actor and model. Wow, like 84. Yeah, I mean, I don't. I wonder if in later stuff, I feel like he wouldn't have put that he was a model, right? He really just became so well known for the acting. But his recipe is for chicken with wine and vegetables. Nice. Chicken breast, orange juice, masala wine, ginger ale, lemon, onion, flour, mushrooms, artichoke hearts, and butter. This sounds really good, Mr. Selleck. Mr. Mustache. All right, Elizabeth Taylor. Let's see what her fanciness put in here. I love this find. It's one of my favorite things. Chicken Moroccan. Spelled it wrong. I don't know if it's a typo or intentional. Oh, I put the wrong one. It's down here. One Cornish game hen per person, orange juice, warmed with honey and fresh rosemary, yum, and wild rice. And like that's it. Marinate the hens. Roast them so they brown evenly. When nearly cooked, turn up the oven so the bird is nearly black, not burnt. If on a roasting tray based often, decorate platter with watercress and slices of orange. Okay. Oh, you stuff them with the wild rice. Okay. So neat. So this is fun, right? I love this book. I really have to get around to making some stuff from it. There's a lot of good stuff in here. Who made something called zucchini elegante? Let's look it up from recipe instead of person for a minute. I've never seen zucchini as something elegant. Zucchini elegante. It's from Lelia, Clelia Hendricks. 1983 Distinguished Alumna Award, former member, Columbia College Board of Trustees, only woman to have served as chairman. Cool. 4 medium zucchini, grated sharp cheese, sour cream, butter, egg yolk, onion, salt, pepper, and Ritz crackers. Well, I don't know if I'd call it elegant, but it sounds like a good casserole. So anyway, somebody remember me, or remind me. Go in the Discord. I haven't thought to contact John Ritter's son, Jason, right? I might think about that with a couple of these people. Their offspring, getting them to. Okay, look how much they're coming apart. See, now it's looking like we had regular leeks and slice them up nice and thin. That's what I'm looking for. I think I'll stop simmering this when all of these bulbs have come apart, kind of into that, or most. Anyway, most, yeah, not all, because I didn't carefully slice them enough to be able to count on all of that. I'm going to pull out the bay leaves now. As much as I saw recipes that thought bay leaf was a good idea in this, I think it might be contributing to that little bit of bitterness I don't want. I can find them. There's one. Chef hands and fingernails. All right, there were two. There's the other one. Boink. I'll pull out the bay. Got whatever it was getting from the bay, which is kind of like an aromatic, almost clovey flavor that really helps with just depth in soups and stews. Like you want it in your beef stew and stuff. Tastes good, really oniony. I have a concern it tastes too brown. That I browned the bacon too much. Like it doesn't taste burnt, but It is making me want to add wine. I feel like it would be just an amazing ad, but I don't want to taint this too much from just a regular um, standard potato leek soup. I mean, bacon was already a pretty big ad for flavor profile, right? Pull the rest of the time out. It's giving up the ghost. And what we're going to do is get the immersion blender out and get this smooth. And then we can put some milk in and get it simmering again and add the potatoes to the thickness we want. I should probably have looked up if anybody ever makes potato soup with instant potatoes. That's one of the first things I thought I might use them for when I first got them from the food pantry, but let's get some depth here. There we go. This is my new immersion blender. It's working pretty good. Got some hunks and bits on there. It's to be expected. Wow. Yeah, I'm happy with this brand. Geniza for the new one. I was really worried nothing would stand up motor-wise to my old Wolfgang Puck one, but look, all those little bits smoothed out real quick. I'm gonna one more little zhuzh. Cool. Okay, any bits that are still being stubborn there, I am getting rid of because this is like a 4-blade, nice strong motor immersion blender, and I don't want bits in there that are too fibrous for that. It'll mess up the mouthfeel. All right. Ooh, it's going like hell now. There's some milk in there. I'm gonna put a little water in first because I don't want to scald the milk. I saw a recipe that said you could absolutely add lemon juice to this. I sounded like a terrible idea because I don't want it to curdle. A little bit of thickness. Good. Tastes good. I'm gonna put more onion base in it because I could add more salt, but that doesn't seem like the move. Let's go with another half a teaspoon, which is, again, with all this liquid I'm putting in here, that's going to be fine. A teaspoon is really only enough for 1 cup of stock or broth from a bouillon. So yummy. It's an ugly color though, right? It's okay. Okay, that wrapped it up good. All right, put some milk in here. There's a little bit of fibrousness still going on from, and I'm just using 2% milk. You can absolutely use cream or half and half or whole or whatever you want. I'm relying on the potatoes to thicken it and get the texture I want. Or I could add arrowroot if it really still wasn't. So we want to bring this back up to a simmer, and then we'll put our potatoes in. I'm just tasting it to make sure it's holding on to enough flavor to get through the potatoes, because potatoes really like suck up a lot of salt and flavor in anything you cook. Matter of fact, if you oversalt something that didn't have potatoes in the recipe, let's see how the bacon goes with it too. There's a pro tip to try to reduce the saltiness is you can throw a potato in there for a little while, like in a soup or something, and then fish it out. Oh, what else I got? Look. I'm an Aldi shopper. I know I've talked about it before. They have these little quarter holders. My sister had one. Like the quarter goes in here, in a little slit. And it goes on your keychain or your purse or whatever. My sister has a little one, cute, looks like a watermelon, but I was at my Aldi yesterday because I'm home now. And they had these and they look like a cassette. Speaking of 1984, right? Gosh, we were even, yeah, I guess we were doing cassettes then. And then she was like, oh my God, I want one. So, yeah, I went ahead and I went back to get her one. Cherry smoked salt, no. You know what? I was going to use smoked salt in this, but I'm thinking I've got truffle salt, right? That might be even better. I do. I have truffle smoked salt. Got a little bit that my friend Scott, who gave me a bunch of great cookbooks to give away to you folks, gave me. What are those spots in there? Those are, you verify, yeah. Those are thyme leaves that just came off the, yeah, off the branch I had in there, and that's fine. It's fine. So I've got like this little part of the bag. I'm gonna put the whole thing in, I think. I'm hoping to not, I don't want to, because I want to use it up. I've got one other bag. That's a 1 pound bag. Yeah. That I don't want to open today. I don't see it boiling yet, but I do hear that coming in from the bottom. So let's get our potato in. Thickening nicely. And if it thickens too much, it'll be easy enough to put more milk, more broth in the form of bouillon, and oh yeah, definitely too thick. It's turning into mashed potatoes. Turn it down. It's okay. The flavor is super strong enough to hold up to those wild leeks, to hold up to more liquid. This is why I use the big pan, because I wasn't sure how much I was getting into here. As long as it doesn't wash out past, so you can't taste the leeks, we're good, because the whole point of the soup is kind of the leeks. Although we love our potatoes, right? Taste. Still tastes like leeks. I'm not going to add more onion because I want it to be leek, not onion flavor. I am going to add more chicken base, though, in lieu of salt. Another, maybe 3/4 of a teaspoon that time. And water. This is going to end up being almost the whole thing of water, which I think is about 32 ounces. La 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 la. Nice, beautiful, thick soup. Those potatoes do pretty much hydrate immediately from the flakes, so it's not going to get thicker and thicker after a couple of minutes, I don't think. I don't know what we're working with. I think I'm going to keep out the bacon and garnish the top with it. Babe, it's really good. More milk. Another whole cup. I'm definitely using probably about 2 cups of milk in this already. But anyway, it's a very much two taste, two texture situation here because we're making this shit up. Ad starts in 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Cool. You know what? That's going to give me time to let me finish this pretty much. Then we'll do an ad and talk for just a minute. It does need some salt, which I'm not surprised. And truffle smoked salt seems like a good call. That mushroom is gonna, because the ramps are a wild onion, I think complement it really well. You can of course just add, salt and pepper to taste. I don't need pepper in here at all. I think I'll go grab some. I'm gonna use white pepper. Just probably only a quarter teaspoon. So I don't want it taking over. I just want it to enhance flavor a little bit, and the white pepper isn't going to look awful in there. And even though it was a deep brown color, look, the potatoes, the milk brought it up to a nice, creamy, just off-white. I don't know if the immersion blender, again, might be a good idea because the potatoes are designed to make into mash, not into a fully on smooth thing. I like some texture in my potato soup. I normally make it from like leftover mashed potatoes with just a bunch of milk in it. So I'm going to put a little bit more of the onion base in. I think I am, oh, it's starting to boil. Good. Going to go ahead and when the ad's going, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm going to put the immersion blender in for a second, just so you know what I did. And thank you again if you're sticking here for ads, because someday I'll get money from that. If enough people do. All right, let's try the experiment of that shit down. All right, I think that'll do. Get off here. Get the hang of this thing eventually, right? Get off. There. Oh, and I found another little chunk of leek. Ad break. Still 2:35. Man, that was quick. Well, thanks for you those over here. So, oh yeah, look. Smooth. Can you tell how smooth it is now? Wow. So, properly oniony, rampy. Did sweeten up after pureeing those. You can absolutely use leave a little more texture to it with not using the immersion blender on your potatoes or after adding potatoes. Don't forget you can use, potatoes and cook them kind of at the same stage we were cooking the ramps in the broth before the immersion blender and the milk. You can absolutely just use a whole bunch of stock and then throw a splash of cream in the end to just get it a little creamy. Pretty versatile, I would say. I'm going to get a bunch of stuff out of the way so that I can take a picture of the soup, and then I'm going to look for someone to raid probably. And let my friend know I'm going to be probably arriving. Maybe I'll let her know. Maybe I won't. Around the same time she does. For the fundraiser for my friend Marianne, who had the stroke. I know I've mentioned her before. That's what the fundraiser I'm going to is for. It's the Statesville Pride Alliance, as well as our friend Marianne. Okay. Turn it way down at this point. Once everything's nice and incorporated. It's wanting this is a tip for any thick soup. I still have an ad break going, so I will wait. I don't have to go get my phone anyway. 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna grab my phone so I can take a picture, folks. It's tasty. It's beautiful. Yay. Made something edible. First try. Not that that's a surprise, but I did use the immersion blender and it's much smoother. There's no harm in having like more potatoey texture going on in there. Like when you use real potatoes, I shouldn't say real, whole potatoes from raw. You can blend this as much as you want and have it chunky if you want. I will say turn it all the way down. Once you get to the stage and it tastes like you want it, a nice smooth soup, any thick soup, pro tip, turn it all the way down because it immediately wants to stick. I'm going to turn it off at this point. Let's get some into a bowl. This will be a nice snack. The fundraiser is unfortunately at a really terrible pizza place, in my opinion. I don't like it at all. It's Village Inn. I don't know. People love it around here. They've DoorDashed from it, which is confusing to me. But it does have a salad bar. So I'll probably have some salad, and then I would like to try and just give some money to the cause instead of eat the food there. Oh no. Okay, it's not very thick, so I'm going to have to gently put these on here just to show them for the picture. But I mean, to eat it, I'm just going to mix it in anyway. Before I put it away, I might go ahead and mix the bacon in. Core, cover, okay. Oh, Jana messaged me? No. Photo. Oh, need my light. It's too shady over here for... There we go. Yum. Yum. And let me get clear, it's bacon. I don't know. Here we go. Which photo? Yeah, cool. All right. Well, thanks for being here, folks. I hope you learned something. I hope you'll let me know. I hope you'll join the Discord. I hope you try to make this. Maybe you'll go in your woods, look for some wild ramps. I'm going to see if Eat It Dads is still on. Yes, he is. He is totally my most recent favorite streamer. He's going to be a little confused because I was hanging out in his stream earlier. But please, if you're here, go there. I don't know if I have anyone live. I don't know if I have anyone. And that's okay. That's not why I do this. I will have this on YouTube. Like all of my videos, if you want to see things that aren't showing up in Twitch anymore, go ahead and go there. Um, I wish I knew if I had any viewers. You know what? Let me try to find out before I raid. Like, I have one viewer. Like, I'm not going to be embarrassed. I'm going to just fucking do it. Tough, right? Nope, /raid. Eat at. You know, I don't think he's going to say, no, you don't get a cookie club entry because there was only one person. Right? So, anyway, bye. Thanks. I look forward to cooking with you soon.